We're about to get started. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate you being here. You are here because you want to know where the money resides. Where the money resides, where the money resides. Okay. Thank y'all for being here. My name is Miss Yamofio. I am the Assistant Director of College Counseling, and that also means I am one of the senior counselors. I have students with last names K through Z. We also have on the line Miss Oglesby. I'm not sure if she wants to say anything, but she is the Director of School and College Counseling, and she also has students with last names A through J. She's also the other senior counselor. All right, well, we will go ahead and get started. If there are no other remarks from Ms. Oglesby, we'll keep it moving. All right, so let's go over the agenda today. I am getting myself situated, moving these little things out of the way so I can see the presentation. So today we will be discussing who are scholarships for, why are scholarships important, where do I find scholarships, what are the requirements, how do I apply for scholarships, do's and don'ts. This is how we do it at Bishop McNamara, and questions and answers. So again, thank you all for being here. You could be anywhere in the world today, but you are here with us because you want to know how to finance your education. All right, so who are scholarships for? For you, of course, those who are interested, those who want to apply, there is money out there for you. Money is mostly for seniors, but guess what? Seniors are moving on out. Juniors are moving on in. So this is why we invited both seniors and juniors, okay? There are some scholarships that are for younger students. It just really depends. You got to find those out there, but the majority of them are for seniors and rising juniors. All right, so why are scholarships important? Scholarships are important because, of course, they help you to cover the cost of your college expenses. College is very expensive, and why pay out of pocket if you don't have to? It reduces your debt, and you can meet a network of people depending on the scholarship. So there are certain scholarship programs that link you with other students or other faculty members and other networks. So applying to scholarships is nothing but a great thing and a great opportunity. All right, so where do you find scholarships? I know this can be something that is a little anxiety provoking. Scholarships are a lot of different places, but then they're kind of still a mystery about how do I go about doing that. And so that's why we're having this seminar today. So we release a scholarship bulletin every Sunday. If you are a senior on the line, you get the scholarship bulletin every Sunday. It's Scholarship Sunday. Granted, that doesn't cover all the scholarships that there are to offer. There are others out there that may not be on the list that we may not know about. So this is just one of the ways you can get scholarships, okay? Local organizations like fraternities, sororities, Jack and Jill, Boys and Girls Club, things of that nature. Your church or place of worship. One that stands out to me is the Alfred Street Baptist Church scholarship. We're going to go over that a little bit towards the end. Your job or your parents' job. If you work at Burger King, there's a Burger King scholarship. You don't even have to be employed by Burger King, but I'm just giving you an example. Different banks, possibly Wells Fargo, other organizations and other jobs that you just didn't know had scholarships. A lot of them do have scholarship opportunities. The website of the college you will or want to attend. So if you're interested in scholarships at the college that you are going to be attending, you can Google scholarships at said school. So let's say scholarships at North Carolina A&T, and they have a page of several scholarships. Now, sometimes those scholarships, you can apply to those as a high school student, and some of those scholarships are available once you're already in college, okay? So fret not if you don't get the amount of scholarship dollars that you were looking forward to or wanted in high school. There are lots of other scholarships that are available once you are a college student. And so a lot of colleges have merit-based scholarships, okay? So that means that if you have a certain GPA and or SAT score, which they're not doing so much now, of course, because you know a lot of schools are test optional, but still some schools may require an SAT or ACT score for a merit scholarship, not necessarily for admission. But let's talk about grades. Some scholarships may say if you have a 3.5 GPA or higher, you may qualify for certain scholarships. Could be 3.0. It really just depends on the college and the scholarship. So the higher the GPA, let's say 3.5 GPA, you might qualify for $20,000. 3.0 GPA, you may qualify for $10,000, things of that nature. So this is why GPA, grade point average, is tied into scholarship money also. And some scholarships are need based. So let's say a parent might have lost a job or had lower income, or just in general, your family income shows that you need money. Those are other scholarships and grants, those you do not have to pay back, that are for you if you have need financially. National businesses. So I say national businesses like Amazon. That's a national business, for example. Coca-Cola Foundation, um, Gates Millennium. That's a program, but those are examples of national scholarships. GoingMary.com. This is something that I encourage you all to do. Make an account on GoingMary.com. It is a search engine for scholarships, and it's legit scholarships. And it is also a way that you can apply to scholarships. So we will be recording this, so you can feel free to take notes or take screenshots or pictures, but we will be recording this and we will be sending out information as well. But if you have questions that you want to ask, please stay on so that we can answer those in the meantime, okay? JLVcounseling.com. This is someone who compiles a lot of scholarships. This website has scholarships based off of state, based off of certain demographics, based off of the month of the year. Tons of scholarships are on jlvcounseling.com. I definitely encourage you to check those out. Bold.org. This is another scholarship search engine. With a lot of these websites, you do have to have a username and password so you can log in and keep track of your scholarship applications. And of course, Google. You may just want to Google scholarships for students of single parents or scholarships for military children. That's just an example. So Google is definitely going to be a good friend of yours when you are looking for scholarships. All right, so hey, is this a scam? You got to stop, right? Legit scholarships do not ask you to pay. They do not ask you to pay for an application. Okay, so just be leery, give the side eye to those sweepstakes. Also, some say, hey, if you just enter to win a scholarship. A lot of times, those websites sell your information, and you may be getting an influx of emails from a lot of different places, and you're like, how am I getting all these emails? My inbox is overwhelmed. And that may be because you may have signed up for a sweepstakes scholarship. Also, think about it like this. If you don't really have to put in a lot of time for a scholarship, it may not be a big return on it. Okay. So I think a lot of the legit scholarships are requiring you to write essays, submit transcripts, things of that nature, and we'll get into that soon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually exit out of this box because this is a little distracting to me. All right. We're going to skip that video right there. All right, so a lot of scholarships have requirements, okay? And it kind of makes sense, right? If you want money, you're going to have to give something up, right? You're going to have to show that you are a student that will do the work necessary in college to continue to stay in college and earn that scholarship, right? If everybody got scholarships, then it would be just too easy and it wouldn't be I guess it wouldn't be as much value to you. So you do have to have a minimum GPA for a lot of scholarships out there. A lot of them do require essays, and there's a lot of competition out there, right? So they want to know who's the best out of the bunch. At the end of the day, these are people who have money and they want to give it to the most deserving student, okay? Your transcript, letters of recommendation, and it must be submitted on time. Okay, so you really got to think about scholarships like you're applying for a job. Okay, you got to put your best foot forward, your best self out there. Okay, and you want to get selected. So these are things you have to keep in mind. All right, how do I apply for scholarships? Well, you have to decide which scholarships you qualify for. There are some scholarships right off the bat. It'll say it's for female students, or it's for male students, or you have to have a minimum 2.5 GPA. So once you see that you have met that requirement, or it may say you have to be a Prince George's County resident, um, most, I would say, scholarships stick very closely to what they're asking for. So if you don't meet the requirement, just keep it moving and you'll find another one that you meet the requirement for. Complete and submit the electronic or paper application. So most applications are electronic, but some you will find are paper and you have to mail them the old school way. All right, do's and don'ts. Do please start early. Give yourself and recommenders time. Okay, you got to give yourself time to think through the application, to think through what your essays are going to be. Give your recommenders time to write you a good and thorough letter. Okay, haste makes waste. If you're rushing through it, you may you may not read the prompt thoroughly, and you may miss out on some details that you need for your essay, your recommenders, maybe writing a quick letter, and you just want to make sure that you give yourself enough time. Be neat, okay? If it's a paper application, no ketchup stains, honey mustard, Chick-fil-A sauce, none of that stuff on your applications, okay? If you have to mail it in, that is a big no-no and eyesore, okay? Make sure you spell check. I know I've definitely got to spell check my things. I am guilty of not doing spell check every time I do things. So make sure that you do that when you are submitting your applications. Make sure you revise your essays also. Do save a Google Doc of your essays and have it varied based off of type of essay. So you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. You don't have to keep starting all over again. Some essays you can just tweak it a little bit, tailor it, change the names, change some paragraphs around, and boom, you can send it off. And again, please submit your application on time. A lot of them don't want to hear, okay, I submitted a day late. Oh, well, other people submitted it early. Okay. So I know it sounds like tough love, but we are trying to position you to be as competitive as you can be. Okay. Again, don't wait until the last minute. I've said that in a variety of ways. And don't be short with an essay. Okay. So if an essay prompt is asking you to tell them about a time where you learned from a mistake that you made, don't just give them 3 or 4 sentences. Okay. An essay typically can be about a page long. Sometimes they might give you a limit or they might tell you how many words that you need to have. But please don't be short. That's just an easy way for you to be eliminated. Okay, so this is how we do it at Bishop McNamara. Okay. And I'm going to talk through this slowly and I'm probably going to reiterate some things. But if you need a transcript or a recommendation letter for a scholarship that is requiring it, either for it to be mailed or emailed, we must send off the transcript and recommendation letters ourselves. We say that because we want to uphold the integrity of the recommendation letter and the transcript. There have been some issues in the past, so we just want to make sure that that everything gets sent off for the student from our office. If you have specific questions about that, let us know. How we had been doing it before we came back to school was if there was a scholarship that was due, let's say on a Friday, we would have the students come by that Wednesday. If it needed to be physically mailed in an envelope, needed to come by that Wednesday and drop it off at the main office. Everything that's your part, your essays, everything like that. And then we would send your recommendation letters and your transcript along with that, and we would mail it off. Okay. Some scholarships require transcripts or recommendation letters to be sent via email or electronically. We may ask you, hey, what is your login for this particular scholarship? We will send it off for you. Okay. We just want to make sure that all the information is legit and it's for you. And that's the best way that we can do it here at Bishop McNamara for you. Again, if you have any questions about that procedure, let me know. I understand how it can be confusing. Okay, so let's walk through an example. This is the scholarship spreadsheets that we have been sending on a weekly basis. And as you can see here, let me scroll up a little bit. It's based off of, as you can see on the left-hand column, deadlines to apply. So the scholarship spreadsheet started in September. Okay. And you can see the scholarship title, the subject, and the amount of money that it covers. Okay. Even though this has been crossed off because the due date has passed, you can still click on it. As you can see, you can still click on it and go to the website, especially if you are a junior. Okay. You can see what scholarships are to come your senior year. As I was mentioning, this is the Coca-Cola Scholars Program. This is a real big one there. You can still click on it and maybe the essays are still up. A lot of times they recycle essays. So, or recycle just a lot of the basics that they have. They don't reinvent the wheel a whole lot. Now, it tells you what the scholarship subject area is. For example, this, and may be hard to read, so I apologize. Amazon Future Engineering Scholarship. That's for people who want to be a future engineer. So you'll see what the subject area is. So you can just keep scrolling. If you don't meet the requirement, or if you do, that means yes, great, click on it. All right, so as you can see, these right here that are not crossed off, those are the ones that are still available, okay? And again, this is not the end all be all of scholarships. Pay attention to these tabs down here at the bottom, okay? Institutional scholarships. So these are scholarships that are offered by the colleges themselves, okay? And it's based off of state. So you can go more into that at a later time. We will send this out again for you all to go over. But right now, what I want to do is go over the Alfred Street Baptist Church application. Okay. So for a lot of the applications, they will ask you to make a username and password, as I mentioned earlier. Okay. So I've already started this, but I have not logged in. So we're going to be doing this together. So this application is due in April. So for those of you who are seniors, you still have time. These are the eligibility requirements. A lot of times you'll see the eligibility requirements right here. Resident of either Washington, D.C., Arlington County, Fairfax, Falls Church, Prince George's County, or a member of Alfred Street Baptist Church. U.S. citizen, admission to and commitment to attend a four-year institution, financial need. So that means the cost of college exceeds expected family contribution, and financial aid awards. Okay, that means that if your family is expected to pay, let's say $5,000 for college, the financial need, if that financial need is $10,000, then that's what they're saying. You still have a gap of $5,000 that you need. Demonstrated commitment to community service. We know community service is a graduation requirement anyway, so you all have that. Grade point average of 2.5 or higher. Combined SAT score. I'm not sure if there's still a stickler for this, SAT or ACT, but we may be able to tell once we log in. So you have to check this box. A complete application will include, so I guess that is true, SAT or ACT scores that you will upload in the section that allows uploading. Okay. Not every scholarship will ask for that, just letting you know. A recommendation from a teacher or counselor, and a complete student aid report from the FAFSA. So that means that you should have already completed the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. And the student aid report is like the first page you have to show, which it will show your expected family contribution. All right, so let's sign up. This email address already exists. Oh, wonderful. I guess I must have signed up already. Okay, let's look into the Esperanza Education Fund. They give you what the qualifications are, must be born outside of the US or have two parents born outside of the US. I'm just skipping around a little bit. Must have a family income of less than $100,000 in 2020. They tell you what the scholarship deadline is, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so let's go to the application. It says online application. All right, so don't have an account? Let's register for an account. All right. All right, exit out of that. Okay, on this page, you'll be agreeing to a few things in order to use the AwardSpring website. I agree. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. Typically, you read through this and read through this. Okay, then you agree. All right, so start application. This is my first time on here, so I'm doing it with y'all. So they'll say, what is the current city you live in? I am just making this up. Washington, state, Washington, DC, zip code, etc. Fill out this information. They're asking you about your parents. Okay. Educational attainment, etc., etc. Okay, let's see if we can skip around. College plans. All right, you must provide a public college or university in this section. Okay, so you're telling them what college you are anticipated to attend. Okay, because this scholarship is only for certain demographics, they may only have certain colleges listed. Okay, I think these are some popular colleges that a lot of students who apply have gotten into. All right, so let's go down to high school. They'll ask you information about your high school, current high school, GED students, please list where you currently live. Don't worry about that. You're not getting a GED, you're getting a regular high school diploma. So you just put in the information about your high school. If you don't know it, go to Google. Like if you don't know the address of your high school, if you don't know the phone number, just Google that information, okay? They ask you, what is your high school's GPA scale? Our scale is 4.0. You may not be able to remember that information, but if you have any questions about some of the questions that scholarships ask, please feel free to reach out to your counselor. Is your GPA weighted? At Bishop McNamara, yes, we do weight GPAs. Okay, so right here it says, please upload an official transcript for your current school if you have one. It says upload an unofficial transcript. Okay, so you guys have access to your unofficial transcript in MaxS. Okay, so you would be able to upload your unofficial transcript. But if they're asking you for an official transcript, then someone in the counseling office will have to help you to do that. What is the difference? Well, the official transcript is stamped and sealed by us at Bishop McNamara. So answer all of these questions because they are a requirement. Not to say they're a requirement to get this scholarship, but it's a requirement to fill out the application. They ask you for your extracurricular activities. Okay, make sure that you have that and know what dates you did it. Have you received any honors or awards, et cetera, et cetera. Now, essays. It says 2 essays are required. For the first one, we will give you the topic to write about. And the second, you can choose from our 4 topics. Okay, so it says in the first essay, describe your experience as an immigrant or a child of immigrants, or how you exhibit one or more qualities traditionally valued and demonstrated by the immigrant community. Hard work, resourcefulness, perseverance in the face of adversity, academic achievement, leadership, and commitment to one's community. All right, so you put your essay 1 there. And then essay 2, you can pick one of the following prompts. Okay, so the first one, they tell you explicitly what the prompt is. The second one, they let you choose. 1 goes under career goals, 2 proud moment, 3 inspiration, 4 solve an issue. And the prompts are as follows here. Okay, so anyway, as you can see, filling out scholarships takes some time and it takes some thought. It's an exciting opportunity to show who you are, and it gives you an opportunity to reflect on who you are and what you've done, why you need money, etc. Okay, let's talk about too much scholarship money. Is there too much scholarship money? Can you get too much scholarship money? Have you all heard of a refund check? I don't know if they still do that these days. I know I got a refund check when I was in college because I got scholarship money that was basically my schooling was already paid for. I had enough grants and scholarships from the college. I had an outside scholarship, but other scholarships that I didn't necessarily need per se. And then they say, hey, you've got too much money, we'll give you a refund check. But a lot of times they have stopped doing that. A lot of colleges have stopped giving as much of a refund check. And what they may do is reduce the amount of loans that you may have been given. For most of you all, you will more than likely have loans that you will have to take out due to parent income, things of that nature. That's just a reality. But if you receive like the Albert Street Baptist Church scholarship, they may say, okay, instead of you having a $10,000 loan that you have to pay back, this scholarship is worth $5,000. So we will put that towards the loan. So now you only have to pay $5,000 as opposed to a $10,000 loan. Or let's say you didn't have any loans at all, but the college is giving you, let's say, $5,000. And the Alfred Street Baptist Church scholarship was $5,000. Then the college may say, okay, well, we'll take back the money, the scholarship that we were going to give you because you have Alfred Street money, and they want to reallocate their money to another student who may need that money. But that's really intricate. We'll get there when we get there, but that's just something to look out for. Now we will discuss any questions that you may have. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. What questions do you all have about the scholarship application process? I'm just now seeing these comments. So thank you so much for submitting questions already. Okay, let's see. Oh, is it okay to reuse essays? Yes, but just make sure that you make sure that the name is correct when you're saying, Dear Scholarship Committee of Alfred Street Baptist Church, or Dear Scholarship Committee of the Esperanza Scholarship Fund. Or you may say, I think I'm very deserving of this scholarship from Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Make sure you don't mix up the sororities. Please don't mix up the sororities. Please don't mix up any of the names. Okay. But yeah, make sure that it answers the prompt. But I don't see a problem with that. Yes, revise and edit for each step. Oh, okay. These questions were already answered, some of them. What is the name of the scholarship again? Details about your class are also listed in the college application packet. Okay. Are there any other?
There are new questions in the Q&A.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I just saw that. Where can we find the Google Sheet? Thank you so much for asking. We're going to send it out. Okay. I'm going to send out an email that lists all those scholarships, so you'll have that at your disposal. Should we trust websites that host multiple scholarships? Should you trust websites that host? Okay, maybe I'm not understanding your question. Like, for example, Going Mary has a lot of scholarships on there. So does bowl.com. Yes, you can trust it. If I'm understanding your question right, Aaron, or if you want to clarify, let me know. If you need me to clarify that. Okay, Ms. Oglesby has been answering some questions also in the chat. What other questions do you all? Okay, Aaron, that's what you were asking. Okay, great. Hello, Mr. Frazier. Mr. Frazier's in the house. Okay. Any other questions about scholarships? Anything that you want me to elaborate on, Ms. Oglesby? Or I'm sorry that the Alfred Street one didn't work. I really wanted to do that one. Who has applied to scholarships already? I see someone's asking, do you have any tips for if you feel overwhelmed with balancing scholarship applications with schoolwork? Yes, I do. Something that comes to mind immediately is do it over some breaks. If you have any breaks, like spring break. This is an anonymous attendee, so I don't know if you're 11th or 12th grader, but if you can do it over spring break or Christmas break, depending on what the deadline is, I would use those breaks for things like that too. Another thing, if you're getting overwhelmed with balancing applications and schoolwork, I would reach out to your teacher, get some help, or reach out to an English teacher, say, hey, can you look over my essays for these scholarships? Get some help. You can't do it all by yourself. I remember the teachers who helped look over my things. Miss Pino, she was a English teacher. You can't do it on your own. Reach out to your counselors. Just let them know what's going on. Even your teachers, just say, hey, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I'm doing scholarships and schoolwork. You will be amazed with the amount of understanding and patience that your teachers may have if you just tell them what's going on. Are we supposed to use parchment for scholarships? That is a good question. I've seen some people use it. I have a particular case in mind that someone did use it for a scholarship, but the scholarship wasn't accepting it from parchment for whatever reason. It was a little glitchy. So the answer is it depends. But I will say this, if you need us to send it, we'll send it for you. We don't even need to use parchment at all for your transcripts. Olivia, thank you. What other questions do you have?
Ms. Timofeo, can you share how many scholarships students should complete? Is 2 enough? Is 200 enough? What do you think?
Okay, my personal opinion, it's hard to say based off a number, but 1 is definitely not enough. Neither is 2, because you got to think about it, like based off all the competition. If someone applied for 20 scholarships, they may get 5. They may get 2 if you apply for 20. So I guess if I had to pick a number, I would say maybe between 10 and 15. Just to increase your chances. Now, there are some scholarships, if, like, for example, this is just me venting, the Tom Joyner morning show, when it used to be on, had 1 scholarship, just 1. I'm like, if a scholarship is just saying only 1 person is the winner, I don't think it's a good use of your time, honestly and truly. But I think you should look at how many winners they say it is. Like, I know some scholarships might say there are 50 winners per state. That's kind of a good yield in a way. 50 winners per state. They might say out of Prince George's County, 10 students might get it. Or they might say out of Bishop McNamara, 5 seniors might get this scholarship. Even if it's 1 senior, like, you think about the amount of your competition. If your competition pool is 20 students, go for it. If your competition pool is even 1,000 students, go for it. But it just really, also just think about what your competition pool is. For the Tom Joyner Morning Show, can you imagine how many students are applying to that? probably 100,000 students, maybe, I don't know, maybe 10,000, maybe 10,000 students were applying for one scholarship. So think about it that way too. Any other questions? We will be sending y'all a lot of information, documents. This is an exciting time. I want you all to have as least loans as possible. I want things to work in your favor. So thank y'all for coming. And we're still here, but I'm just giving my thanks. Any final questions? Don't be shy. There's no bad question. There's no dumb question. Or if you want to email us personally, let me see, panelists and attendees. I'll put my email address down, and Miss Oglesby. If you didn't want to ask with the group, you can ask personally, okay? Well, if there's no other questions, then I guess we can wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for being here on your school day off. And I hope to hear from you soon.